Good morning. Hello, hello. How is everyone? Coffee cup of the day. A little boring, but necessary that I have a big cup. Oh, I have to make sure I'm on live chat. There we go. Oh, because Blue keeps waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I even moved their feeding time a little later. And I don't know why. He just thinks that 5 o'clock in the morning is the time I need to wake up. And I do not think that is the time that I need to wake up. And it makes me tired. Good morning, Cass. Ugh. And I just sneezed right before I went live. So now my nose is sniffling because I sneezed. So we'll give it a minute and we will let notifications go out. Good morning, Lemmy. We are going to be up in the 80s again today. But then come Friday, Saturday, we're going to be in the 50s for a high. So, but that means I pulled out a summer shirt for one more. Good morning, Kathy. One more wearing before I pull out my winter clothes. I have, I think, 4 pair of Halloween leggings, and I pulled them out. And the first 2 that I've worn so far this season are too big on me now. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you my page. I did not get to finish it because I discovered that I had matte Mod Podge. Good morning, Diane. I had matte Mod Podge instead of glossy Mod Podge. And because I called up my daughter and I'm like, okay, how did you do your page with the candy wrappers? Oh, that's excellent, Kathy. That takes a lot of work. And she's like, well, I glued them all down first. So here's the glue I used, just Elmer's Craft Bond. So I glued them down. And I had blue ones. But, ooh, that's shiny. But I thought it was pretty with like the fall color. So I didn't use the blue wrappers that I had. So I did that. And then while I was talking to my daughter, she's like, but when you put the Mod Podge on, it's not going to be glossy anymore. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I remember that from when I did it over my Starburst wrappers. It wasn't glossy anymore. So I checked my Mod Podge and sure enough, it was the matte. I thought I had, good morning, Karen. I thought I had the glossy somewhere. I looked all over, I can't find it. So, hey, Delbert. But Dollar Tree has just the little Mod Podge. Like, I don't craft enough to need the massive buckets of Mod Podge that my daughter always used. So I'll probably stop at Dollar Tree and grab a glossy. So here was my page from last week's prompt. And I had it open all night so that the glue would dry. I don't know if it's dry or not. We'll just leave it open. And then I started a second little thing because I cannot draw. I do not paint. I am not an artist in any way whatsoever. But Inktober gives out prompts for the entire month of October for ink drawings. And I thought, oh, thanks. They're clip-ons, actually. They're a little heavy. I was surprised how heavy they are. But I thought, well, what if I take those prompts and I do a junk journal page with it? So, and I didn't even see it until like the night of the second. So I didn't do the first prompt and the second prompt, but the third prompt was path. And I started a new book for this one. So here is my path page. So I don't know. There's no pressure on myself to do every page of the 31 days of Inktober, but I thought that'll give me just some fun ideas. I won't have to think about it. A fun prompt, and then I can do a page and be a little creative. So that's what I was doing yesterday. All right, we have 15 people here, so we will go ahead and pull this week's prompt. Oh, I'm gonna set down the floor. Let's see. Make a vintage page. Yes! Can you tell I'm excited about this prompt? Make a vintage page. Oh, I have so many ideas. I actually have like some vintage packaging that was not in the best of shape, so I saved it for a scrapbook page. I've got vintage inspired stickers. I don't know. This is going to be fun. I'm excited about that. So how is everyone? It seems like everyone that I know is sick right now. And I fought it off last week. Had the elephant sitting on my chest, and I knew I wasn't feeling well when I did my live last week, which is why I didn't do a sale. But I thought I was just tired. No, my body was trying to fight off the virus that everybody else has and everybody's gotten really sick from. So I felt like I had the elephant sitting on my chest all week. I had like a really dry, slightly uncomfortable throat, but it was never really a sore throat. I was a little stuffy. I sneezed a lot, but I fought it off. And I think it's not going to turn into the nastiness that it's turned into for everyone else I know. My niece is on today will be day 11 of it. And she's a music teacher with no voice. So she's been teaching music all week without being able to talk. So that's been interesting. So I hope that you guys have managed to avoid it and you are not sick. But man, it seems like everybody I know is. I have a small sale this morning. I have 15 items. Every item is going to be $10 or under. Good morning, Kathy. It's so nice to see all of my favorite people. So coffee cup of the day is boring, but is big. It's a big coffee cup, and I needed it. I just don't know how to stop him from waking me up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I just need like an hour more of sleep. If you wait until after 6 to wake me up, I'd be fine. But oh, Kathy's sending me friend mail. Exciting. Yeah, it's moved into her ears too. And my other niece has it. And it's in her ears as well. Oh, it's just gross. I'm glad I fought it off. The amount of vitamins I take every day, you would think I wouldn't even have gotten a symptom, but that elephant sitting on my chest, that was the worst part of it. All right, we are going to get started. And if you saw my preview, those items in my preview are up for sale today. And do you guys know that was the first time last week that I had been outsourcing in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And I am really realizing with the cooler weather last week and then the temperatures going back up above 80 again this week, how badly the heat affects me. It didn't used to, but it does now. But I did go out and source a teensy little bit. It's not COVID. Everyone tested negative. So Thank goodness. But this virus is nasty. My mom says that this virus currently that she's got is worse than COVID as far as how sick she is. Because I've never had COVID, even though I've been directly exposed at least twice and lived with people who had COVID. But she's had it and tested positive for it. And no, she says this is worse as far as how sick she is. And, I don't like to talk about other people's HIPAA, but Dad currently has pneumonia. So they're treating it at home. He's on his meds. Mom and I nag him to make sure he's taking everything, probably to the point where he's like, don't leave me alone. My dad is the most patient, soft-spoken, kindest man in the world. But yeah, they're struggling with it. My nieces have. It's just not good. So I hope nobody else gets it. It's awful. Okay, so first item is, oh, Kathy, I hope not. I have managed to make them slow down a tad, but my parents never stop and just sit around. My parents never, they're always moving. They're always on the go. There's always something to do. And thank goodness canning season had almost wrapped up before they got sick. Okay, first item is the Redware Sugar and Creamer. And I think at some point in the last 2 years, I've sold the teapot that would have gone with this. It would have had the same design and it would have had the metal handle with the spring coiled around the handle. Pretty sure I sold the teapot. So how crazy that I came across the creamer and the sugar. Creamer is smaller than the sugar bowl, but it's got little feet. And you can feel the paint on this. It's this size. And no chips, no cracks. There is, some wear because it's old. So there's the lid. There's the inside. Little feetsies. There is the remnant of a Made in Japan sticker on the bottom. So just the sweetest little set. Perfect for autumn decor with the brown and the orange and the gold. Love, love, love that. $10. $10, number 2. $10, number 2. Next up, this is the tablecloth that I showed you guys last week. I measured, and it is approximately, because I did not lay it out on the table and get an actual material measuring tape to do this, but it's approximately 90 inches long, 44 inches wide. And I cannot find a stain on it anywhere. So the long edges are, I don't know enough about material, but they're the finished edges. So they don't even have a seam sewn. The short edges have a seam. But if you just want, a piece of material for something else, this would make the cutest kitchen, not a full curtain, but the little valance. Hey, Kraken. My mom still to this day talks about how much she misses her Harvest Gold refrigerator. Well, if it was purple, I'd probably be keeping it, Kaz. But I love the shape on it. I love that it's got the roses. Super pretty. So 90 inches by 44 inches. And it is also $10, number 13. $10, number 13. I love it. Everything today kind of has a fall vibe. And since Kraken just popped in, I'm going to give you guys the prompt again. Make a vintage page. I love this. so excited about this one. Make a vintage page. That is this week's prompt. Coffee break. And even though it's warm, I do have pumpkin spice creamery in here. I saw that Kroger already has some of, not all, but some of the holiday flavors. They don't have eggnog out yet, but they do have some of the holiday flavors, and the peppermint mocha was in when I was in there this week. All right, next. This is the mug, the Design by Mara mug. Do you guys want me to make this and offer up? I know there was a lot of interest in how pretty it was and people liking it when I did the preview, but I don't know if there's enough people who want to purchase it that you'd like to make it an offer up. So let me know and I'll show you while you're doing that. The blue, and it's, I know it's coming across more purpley, but really it's blue. So the blue and the green, you got the brown on the handle. I didn't even know these mugs were a thing. And then I saw this when I thought, man, that is pretty. And realized it was signed and then looked it up and I'm like, oh, wow. So designed by Mara, Mexico. Hey, Mary. Kraken, I keep saying I'm going to do an updated for the prompt since the last video I did. I have not been feeling well, but maybe I can get one done for you. If I do, I'll tag you in it. So this is a nice big mug. I didn't actually put water in it to see what it measured. It looked clean, but I did, give it a good scrub because I always like to wash everything. I saw on eBay, the ones with giraffes on them, which was super fun. And if this one had had a giraffe on it, I would have kept it to gift to my niece, who is over 6 feet tall and has a giraffe tattoo. So I like to buy her giraffe things. All right. It is only going to be $10, number 5. $10, number 5. I get a good price on it, so you can get a good price on it. The Mara mug. Next up, I showed these last week, and they are the vintage barbecue salt and pepper shaker in the wood. They are not in the best of shape, but they are super, super fun. Can't get the lid to pop down more and can't get the lid off, but that's what that one looks like. That's what that one looks like. They're very lightweight. So they are only going to be $6, number 20. $6, number 20 for the super fun barbecue salt and pepper shaker. And they're wood. I don't know if I said that. Next up, this thing is gorgeous, you guys. And it is a nice size. From tip of nose to tip of tail, like 9 inches. 8 inches. And then it stands, let's see how tall he stands. To ear tip, like just over 6¼ inches. Oh, you want the barbecue shakers? Awesome, Kraken. I have got you down for those. So he's a good size. He has his Japan sticker on the bottom, and the company was Orion. And he does not have any damage anywhere that oh, now that I'm saying that, there's tiny little bit of glaze missing right there on his nose. But feet are all in good shape, tail's in good shape, ears are in good shape. Because a lot of times the ears get hit, but looks like a tiny little bit of glaze is missing right there. This is a white stripe. That's not damage. This is what he looks like. Ah, he's just gorgeous. I like to buy things that if they don't sell, I don't mind if they're sitting right here so I can admire them. I'm not buying something if I think it's ugly, no matter how much it's worth. Oh, that's my philosophy on buying vintage. I have to like it. $10, number 8. $10, number 8 for the fantastic. He's a collie, right? I think he's a collie. Next up, it's the vintage booklight. I found one of these on eBay, this exact one. It was filthy and stained, and they were asking $30. It's still for sale. You can go look. Asking $30 for it. So, vintage booklight. It does work. I will not send batteries in it if somebody buys it, but I did leave batteries in it to show you that it works. Closes up like this. The handle is in good shape. I mean, this one's not in perfect shape, but that one on eBay was gross. And they wanted $30 for it. I'm like, I don't think so. So for the vintage booklight, and this one I think was, it had a made in somewhere. Let me see. Made in British colony of Hong Kong. And then it's got the US patent, the design patent, the United Kingdom patent pending, the Canada patent. $10, number 1. $10, number 1. Isn't it funny that at one point in time, this was like the epitome of technology? That you could read your book in bed without disturbing your partner. And hey, Helen. And now I've got like 500 books on my phone. And you can do dark screen, so you're really not disturbing your partner if you're reading at night. All right, next item. You've seen this one before. I brought it back. It is that smoky colored decanter. Let me hold up white behind it. I adore this color, especially for this time of year. Set this on the table and stick a sunflower in it. How pretty would that be? I know that it doesn't have the topper, which would make this amazing, but it is still really, really pretty. It's got this pretty bottom, this swirl pattern, this ribbing here, and it originally had a glass stopper. You can see that wear there at the top that you get from a glass stopper instead of one of the plastic ones. So at some point, this was a super nice decanter. And today it is just $8. $8, number 6 for this gorgeous smoky colored decanter. And I did spend all summer looking for a stopper that would match this. And I did not have any luck, which was a bummer. Next up is this. I don't know. When they're this big, do you call them a doily? Or does it have a special name? Because I think of these as ones you put on the table as like a centerpiece, and you put a bowl of fruit or a vase of flowers. So like for me, they go over a tablecloth. And this one, this way is longer. So it is, let's see, about 32 inches, just depends on how wide you stretch it, by 25. And I don't see any pulls or holes or stains on this one. So I think it's in really good condition. These also look pretty over those little like round side tables, even though it is longer than it is wide. But it is just $6. $6, number 17. And do you guys see this one hair right here? Just this one group of hairs decided it's going to stick out this way for the rest of my hair today. I don't know about you guys, but I don't fight with my hair. My hair does what it wants and I let it. I'm not messing with it. And everything else I have is going to be fall jewelry. So first up, you've probably seen all of these before if you've been hanging around here for a while, but this was my most recent purchase. It is a tri-colored leaf brooch, and it is just over 3 inches long, and it has a Y back. I love that it's got the 3 different colors, the copper color, the silver color, and then the like burnished gold or antique gold color. So really pretty. Does not go with my summer shirt today. Perfect on a variety of jackets and sweaters for this time of year, not just a jean jacket. And it is $10, number 9. $10, number 9. And because of the Y back, I do think this one has some age to it. Next up, this one's a modern one. This is not vintage at all. I'd actually found 2 of these. I kept one for myself and sold one last year, and then realized that I've gone a whole year without having used it. So I'm going to offer it to one of you guys. So it's modern. It's not vintage, but it does have a little bit of 3D here. Got a couple different layers with the leaves. Only $6. $6, number 11 on that one. Next up is a leaf necklace. I have no idea if this is one of those that was a real leaf that they dipped in gold, or if it's an imitation. Because I know those are a thing. My grandmother had one when I was younger. The chain, 9 inches, which makes it an 18-inch. I guess I don't know how jewelry works. But gold color leaf necklace. $6, number 15. $6, number 15. Next up, this one is signed BSK. I don't know anything about that company, but the pin does stick out pretty far from the end here. So there's the right there, BSK. Super pretty. And this one is 2.5 inches wide. And it is $8. Number 12. $8. Number 12. I've got 2 more. This one is a little one. It has more of a vintage feel. Not signed or anything. Maybe someday I'll have a camera that likes to show the brooches properly. And this one is at its widest point, not even 1.25, just over, or no, just over 1.5, just over 1.5. $8, number 10 on that one. And last brooch, although I have one more item after this, is this one. This has some corrosion on it. Can you see it? So it has some corrosion, and in order for the pin to work, it has to be bent at this angle, but the metal's really soft and likes to flatten out if something else gets put on top of it. Because I've worn this one before and had to bend it back together. So the corrosion's mostly on the back, but a little bit right here. And this one is 3.25 inches long. But because of the corrosion, it is only $5. $5, number 19 on that one. Oh, trying to move the camera. Dr. Lori irritates me. Don't tell her I said that, she'll yell. I watch her videos sometimes, but there is a kinder way to say things. That woman. All right, I brought the receipt spike back. I just think it's cool. It's giving some fall vibes. Has a bit of rust right here. It is just under 5 inches tall. So, receipt spike. It has a nice design on it. I've seen somewhere this is just plain and there's nothing on it, but this one's got a nice design, and it is $10, number 7. $10, number 7 for the receipt spike. And that is everything today. So if you are watching on the replay and you're interested in anything, just drop me an email. If you need the prompt, I will show one more time the prompt. This one's going to be fun. Make a vintage page. And then if you missed the beginning, last week's prompt was to decorate with, let's see, it was decoupage or Mod Podge a page with trash such as candy wrappers or junk mail. I had saved my Lindt truffle candy wrappers that someone had gifted me for Christmas last year. And so here they are. I had blue ones too, but I decided I wanted like a fall kind of inspired page. But I did not Mod Podge this yet. Because I want to get the glossy Mod Podge. I only had the matte, or I could only find the matte. I could have swore I had the other one here, but so that's my page from last week. And then if you missed it, I don't draw, but Inktober is going on where you are supposed to, they give you a prompt to do an ink drawing every day this month. I didn't find it until I was going to bed on the 2nd. So I did, the first prompt that I did was the 3rd. I'm using those prompts to junk journal. So it was path was the prompt. And so every road should have a path. And I used 2 different papers to kind of make a path. And then I got my little person with their bicycle. And this is a new to me book. So I wanted to start something new. And that's what's going on. And I am still doing better with the ashwagandha that I am taking. So I am happy about that. Feeling more like myself again, which is good. Because when you are going through perimenopause, your brain is crazy. It's crazy. So doing better as far as that. But like I said, with the heat, fibromyalgia, flare up, not good. And then since it's going to drop so dramatically and only be a high of the 50s over the weekend, that's not going to be good for me either. But I'm hanging in there. I hope all of you are hanging in there too. That is all for today. I have errands to run and I take my mom to an appointment later today. So I have a busy day, hence the need for big cups of coffee today. All right, you guys are awesome. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And maybe I'll see you in the chats now. I'm feeling a little better. Bye, guys.